Yes, you are listening to the Ready, Set, Retire radio podcast with Steve Anzoni. My name is Jessica Forkel. Get more details on the website at fairwayfinancial.net. Before we get started, Steve, my pal, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Can you believe it? It's November.
Crazy. No, I can't.
And you know what's weird is Thanksgiving's late this year, so Christmas is going to come real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know? So, but no, I love the fall. You know, you got football, you got hockey going on. It's awesome. And the weather's great. The tourists are really not here, so people can get around Hyannis and the Cape. And it's a beautiful time of year down
Absolutely.
here. So, yeah. So my youngest, Cam, was 7 months a week or so ago. That was cool. Mm-hmm. And Emmett's 31 months. Wow.
Wow.
It's awesome.
All right. Yeah, those are the grandkids, by the way, for those that are
just
now tuning in. Steve, I guess really almost, over 2 years ago, became a grandpa for the first time. So.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. And not only is it just an amazing part of Tracy and my life, but I think it just makes me a better overall planner because I now really get what people are going through and the joy they have with the grandkids. I totally get it.
Yeah, of course.
Not that I don't love my kids, but
it's a different love, yeah.
It is definitely different, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, it definitely opened, I think, your eyes a little bit more to see, wow, this is what I'm talking about to people every day is, hey, I've worked so hard, and now I want to talk about the bucket list items, or I want to start a college fund for my grandbabies, or take them to Disney World, and you know, it really kind of, puts things in motion there. And I want to paint that picture, by the way, folks. I mean, when you think about retirement and when you think about your money, it's really easy to think, okay, well, obviously I have to have enough money to live and I have to have enough money to pay taxes and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to planning for retirement, it really is looking past all of the common sense things and saying, oh, yeah, by the way, there's a bucket list situation where I get to do all the cool things in retirement. Yeah,
that's true. And I feel, well, I mean, the grandkids make me feel like I'm semi-retired sometimes, just going to visit them. It's just a really cool thing. Before it was like, all right, we're going to go away. We're going to go here. We're going to go there. And now it's like Tracy says, hey, we're going to go babysit the grandkids. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Let's go. Right.
Yeah. And no, it's great. And, they're not too far. They're about an hour. So that's not bad. And yeah. So matter of fact, I think next weekend we're on babysitting duty.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Love
then
it.
I think the weekends after that, I think the week before Thanksgiving, Tracy's going down there for a sleepover, I think, because Derek's wife is going with her sisters somewhere. So Tracy's like, I'm in.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah. So
well,
I'll be home for that one.
I love that, though. Time flies when you're having fun, whether you're babysitting the grandchildren or, just doing anything you love that you're passionate about. And as you talked about here, Thanksgiving's coming late, which means Christmas is going to come very, very quickly. I bring all that up to say, listen, time flies. We are all busy. We're doing a million things. And I bring this up because it doesn't matter how much money you have. You can't control how fast time's going. So as dedicated as we are to our job and getting the next promotion, or getting that next raise or whatever it is, you have to remember that one day you're going to wake up and be 60, 65 and go, you know what? I'm tired of this whole 9-to-5 thing. Can I retire? Have I thought about it? Have I done anything? And that's where these conversations come in with Steve. Just to remind you guys, he's been doing this for over 3 decades. So look, if you have concerns about the market, if you have concerns about the high inflation, Steve has seen pretty much everything. This is where he can use his professionalism, his education, and sit down with you and say, look, I know you're concerned about X, Y, or Z. Let me show you how my strategies can help alleviate some of that and put a plan in place that's going to give you confidence.
I just want to say something else because a lot of people at my workshops and listening on the radio, some of you feel, oh, I don't have enough money. Steve's been doing this forever and he's only wants to see people who have $500,000 or $1 million. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm not that person. I wasn't raised that way. If someone has a concern about retirement, okay, I'm here to help you. Whether you have 100,000, 300,000, 500, it's not as relevant to me as it is me helping you. And I want to be very clear about that because, Jess, a lot of people hear on ads or commercials that, you need to see $1 million to sit down with me and all this stuff. And that appalls me. We're supposed to be professionals and we're supposed to help people. And so I don't believe in that philosophy. I will never believe in that philosophy. So you listening out there, don't feel that way. Your money is just as important as anybody else's. So that's how I feel about it.
One strategy to mitigate your taxes is called tax loss harvesting. So what exactly is it? Well, here's tax attorney Andrew Gordon on Yahoo Finance.
Tax loss harvesting refers to selling capital losses or stocks or securities that are currently at a loss position, meaning that you bought it at a price higher than it's trading for today. If you've had stock gains or any capital gains throughout the tax year, those capital losses from your tax loss harvesting can reduce or offset those gains. In some cases, even eliminate them in full.
All right, so here's the deal, Steve. Is this something to tackle with a financial advisor, do it on our own? I mean, taxes are confusing enough, and since tax loss harvesting is often done at the end of the year, as I mentioned, we're approaching very quickly, is it a good idea to make an appointment before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, this is more of a tax question, obviously. And to be honest, I mean, there's probably not a lot of stocks that people have bought that are showing losses. I mean, the market's been pretty good. I mean, unless you bought these, say, in 22, you might be experiencing some losses. But, it's a very technical thing, and you definitely should talk to your tax advisor or your CPA first about that to see if it even makes sense, because you might have some stocks that are in a down position that you like, that you feel might come back. And so selling them for the sake of selling them to get a quick tax cut might not be the best long-term play. I mean, as you know, what we focus on here is long-term. And we are trying to look at improving one's cash flow. Income is what it's all about for us here. And so we try to look at the whole pile and say, all right, where you at with your monies? Is it all in a 401k? Is it in an IRA? Is some of it after tax? And that's how we tackle things to work with long term. So for us, it's about the cash flow. But certainly, if you've bought, I'll use the industry term, some dogs, and they're not performing well, you might be able to use those to offset ones that you feel that you want to sell at a gain position so that you have a zero tax on those. So it's not a terrible strategy. So that's something that is on your mind. I can certainly quarterback you through it a little bit, right, and see where you're at and give you an idea of what to expect. So give me a shout at 508-552-3230, and let's just chat about it as part of your whole overall situation, because I don't think any financial transaction stands on its own, right? You've got to look at, all right, what am I doing here, and how is this going to affect the rest of my pile now and in the future? It's almost like playing dominoes, and it's that domino effect, right? So you tip one over, you might be tilting other ones over that you didn't intend on doing. So that certainly warrants a phone call to see if it even makes sense to pursue.
Steve, big question for you. Are you a John Bon Jovi fan?
Absolutely. Huge fan.
Absolutely is right.
Yep. Hey, man, anybody from Jersey who can rock like that, number one in my book. And hey, you know what? Bill Belichick loves him too.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right about that. Well, John Bon Jovi, obviously one of the greatest to ever do it. The last time rocker John Bon Jovi toured was actually more than 2 years ago. Wow. He had some health issues, apparently, one of them being vocal cord surgery. And he says that's prevented him from playing some shows over the past few years. He recently tells AARP that he's had some chance to sit back and reflect a little bit.
Enjoy the moment. Live in the moment. That would be the only advice I would have told myself at 18 from a 62-year-old's perspective is you coulda, shoulda taken a little more time to look and see the sun shining. I've learned that now. But the 25-year-old was just so solely focused on the next step, that some of those great memories for me were not as celebrated.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all can agree with that sentiment and go, you got to stop and smell the roses at some point.
I can totally relate to that because, and I've had some great clients over the years tell me that. Don't just live today, live your life, travel, do what you got to do when you're younger and take advantage of that. And he's right on. When we get in our 60s, we tend to get more reflective. I think that's just natural, right, for all of us. But because I think we get more reflective because we've had more life experiences.
We all can get into our later 50s, 60s and sit back and reflect on that. And you can play this coulda, shoulda, woulda. Sort of like this recent survey found. They found that more than half of retirees said they would go back and plan their retirement differently if they could. 63% regretted not including investments that provided a steady income stream, saying that they'd like to receive an automatic paycheck. So, Steve, for those that love the thought of this automatic paycheck, and for those that haven't yet retired, how can you help them avoid this so they don't have that coulda, shoulda, woulda?
Yeah, that's a great point, Jess. And it's one of the things that people, when they see me or they go to my workshops, it comes up all the time. They want to replace that paycheck. I mean, after all, that's what retirement income planning is. It's not just about the pile of money, which is nice to have, don't get me wrong. It's how much can that pile produce? How long will it produce it? And is it guaranteed? And here's the odd part, and this is called, I guess, marketing, right? And we're seeing it now with these political ads, which, God, I'll tell you what, I can't wait till this election is over.
Same.
And I stop getting these text messages from everybody I don't know saying, hey, and one guy saying, hey, Suzanne, how are you? I'm like, really? At least get your facts straight if you're going to harass me. And I just can't wait for them to be over. But there hasn't been a person that I've met in 38 years who said to me, Steve, I don't want any more guaranteed lifetime income. I'm good. I'll just take my chances and do whatever. Haven't met anybody yet. Everybody wants that. Everyone wants to replace that paycheck. But then, oh my gosh, the product that does that is called an annuity. And all of a sudden, it becomes evil.
It's less for the hills. Yeah.
It's less evil these days, ironically, because firms like Fidelity recognizes that people need lifetime guaranteed income. They get it, and they're on board with it. Other firms still are not on board, and I feel bad for those firms because they're not servicing their customers properly. They're being overly biased. And I applaud Fidelity for doing what they do and talking about the need for income because it's so important. And everybody I talk to, oh, yeah, Steve, that'd be a great idea, great idea. And then I show them how it works, and they're like, oh, my God, I can get what?
Yeah,
I mean,
big deal.
I just had a client call me. Well, we did our annual review, okay? We do annual reviews with our customers, and I know a lot of people don't have those, but we do it. And so, again, she's not a multimillionaire. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady, and she's retiring in a couple of years. And she found some old money in a 401k and a smaller pension from her days back when she was in Connecticut. And she goes, I don't know what to do with this, Steve. What do you think? And I said, well, what are you looking to do? And she said, well, I'd like more income in a few years. I said, all right, let me share with you how we can put this money somewhere, guarantee you, 7 to 8%, actually a little bit more. I just looked at the illustration a little while ago. A little bit more guaranteed growth on the money. You see what I said there? Guaranteed growth on the money.
I like it, yes.
And then in 2 years, when she's ready, it's going to provide her with a lifetime guaranteed payment of over, I believe it was 7.25, somewhere around there of the pile of money. They're going to guarantee that check forever, even if the original pile of money runs out, Jess. So some people can't relate to that. They're going, how is that possible? How can that work? Well, that's what an annuity does. They're taking the risk on their side to provide you with a guaranteed lifetime paycheck. And when I told her this, you would have thought she hit the lottery. I mean, she was just so excited about it. And I said, yeah, I could absolutely help you with that. And so we were going to meet next week and take care of it. But my point is that so many people either don't know about it or are misinformed about it, which is sad. And obviously we have a lot of misinformation going on now, but I'm trying to help people understand the facts. And I will continue to do that for as long as I'm physically and mentally able to do it. I will fight the good fight, as they say, because in the end, it's your money, it's your income, and it's your retirement. And you need to know what is out there that can potentially help you add more income to your situation and perhaps give you greater peace of mind going into retirement. Because I think that's what most people that I talk to want just, it's really that simple. It's not that complicated as people like to make it out. So if you're one of those who kind of feel that way, give us a shout, right? 508-552-3230. Okay, it's really that simple. Give us a call, and you can meet with me in person here in Hyannis, or we could just simply have a chat on the phone first to see where you're at. Or you can jump on the website at fairwayfinancial.net. Check us out that way, and you can even say, hey, I want an appointment with Steve, and we'll arrange it for you. I have the staff here, the team would love to meet you, and I'd love to meet you. And, again, thank you for everybody for listening. I appreciate that. And but let me help you. Let me take it a step further. Don't just listen. Get information for yourself.
Get more details on the website, fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Steve Anzoni is a licensed insurance provider by the Division of Insurance and is not registered as an investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve Anzoni, Massachusetts Insurance License 3851053. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Steve Anzoni is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Steve Anzoni is licensed in your state, please call 508-398-3337.